Hey guys, we're here again at HardRacing. Today we're going to do the Chimera cold air intake. As you can see here, it's a complete kit. That's what we carry, is the complete kit, which includes the air filter, the coupler, the intake, and the fairing brace rod. The intake, as you can see, has the mount for the air temperature sensor. It's all OEM fit. Coupler connects it to the throttle body, the filter fits in the end, and the fairing brace will support your left and right fairing after the airbox is gone. You'll use the same OEM bolt right here and on the opposite side, and it'll basically connect through there in the middle. If you didn't have that, your fairing will flap around. So it's definitely recommended to get the complete kit. It's on our website, and now we're going to show you how quick and easy it is to install it.
Okay guys, so the first step we're going to do is remove the left and right fairings. Alright, so now that you've removed the bodywork, the next step is going to be removing the air temperature sensor and loosening the clamp on the throttle body. So now that you've removed your air temperature sensor, just be careful because it will be screwed back into your air intake. So now the next step is to remove the top airbox bolts, and then you're going to loosen this clamp, which is going to take off the breather hose because that breather hose is actually going to go on the intake. Okay, so the next step is to remove the airbox. So what we're going to do is pop off this rubber boot and lift it up, and it should pop right off. Alright, the next step is to install the coupler. To make it easier, we're going to remove the clamps. Okay, so the next step is going to be installing the coupler on the throttle body, and you want to wiggle it on just using your thumbs. Once that's on there, we're going to take the two clamps, and make sure when you install the clamps on the coupler you have the bolts angled so that they're easily accessible and you can tighten them down. Okay, so the next step is going to be tightening down the bottom clamp so it's secure on the throttle body. Now the next step is going to be installing the air temperature sensor on your intake. Okay, so the next step is going to be installing the intake on the coupler. And then you take your breather hose and you're just going to pull it and reroute it and install it on the nipple that's on the intake. Okay, so now that we have the breather hose installed on the intake, the next step is to install the K&N filter. And the nice thing about the K&N filters, they have a lifetime warranty, a million miles, which lifetime warranty, because most of the time they're not going to, they'll outlast the bike. And when you put it on, you want to put it just a little bit over that lip and then tighten your clamp down. Okay guys, and just to clarify, once you put your filter on, completely on, what you want to do is have approximately 2 millimeters over the metal flange so that it ensures over time the filter just doesn't fall off. So do that, and then the next step is going to be to tighten down your second clamp on your coupler. Okay, so the last thing you want to do is to give it a little wiggle and make sure everything's nice and tight, because the last thing you want is to have a little bit of air coming in past the air filter. Okay, so the next step is going to be putting your fairings back on. Okay, so we just noticed that when we mounted our fairing, the breather hose was rubbing against that, so we didn't like it, wanted to reroute it, and we rerouted it behind the clutch cable, as you can see, and it's a much better fit. So the next step is going to be installing your fairing brace, but before we do that, we have to remove these small capture nuts that are on the inside of the fairing. And to do that, you take a pair of needle nose pliers and a flashlight and reach in and pop it off. And there you go. Okay, so now that the little capture nuts are off on the inside on each side, we're going to take our fairing rod, line it up with those holes, and screw in your bolt. Okay, so now it's time to start it up.